Hi, my name is Yifat Cohen and welcome to how to apply the 6 principles of influence to live streaming. Now, usually I would do this live because that's what I do. I do live streaming. I'm not used to recording presentations like this. And if I were to do it live, I would have you come in and interact with me face to face, ask me any question that you might want. But because you're watching our recording right now and you can't ask me any questions, I want to offer you a way to do that before we get into everything, right? So if you have any questions as you're watching this presentation, then you can message me and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So what you want to do is you want to point your phone camera, just pull out your phone, go to the camera app, like this, just go to the camera app, you see me twice, and just point that app at the barcode that you are seeing right there. And what's going to happen is it's going to send you to a website, which is my group page, and it will show you how to join my free group. There are 3 steps, super easy. It's not Facebook, because I don't want to own Facebook, be owned by Facebook, and you'll see why in a second. So it's not Facebook, it is Telegram. And that will allow you to have me in your back pocket and me to have you in my back pocket, and we can interact with each other privately or in group, in chats. So that way I make sure that all your questions are answered. And if you have any challenges or anything like that, you want to brainstorm, this is where to do this, okay? So point your camera right now at the QR code, scan it, go to the web page and do all the other steps later, because now I want to dive into what you came here for, the 6 principles of influence and how they apply to live streaming. So let's dive straight into this, okay? So this is what we're talking about today, the 6 principles of influence in live video streaming. And let me introduce myself. I'm Yifat Cohen and I used to be the G+ go-to gal, and I even have an avatar for her, which is a different story for another time in my Google Plus days. So a little bit about me, right? I used to rank as the first organic result in Google search for my keywords, and I say used to because of one crucial mistake that I made, and it's the same crucial mistake that all of you are making right now. Let me tell you what I mean. So while your image of Google Plus is probably something like this, my experience was completely different. You see, I used to suck at social media. I was in college when Facebook first came out for college students. And like so many people out there, I saw the likes pile on other people's profiles, but not on mine. Can you relate to that? See, and then Google Plus came around and I came in, I was one of the first 100 people to get invited to Google Plus, and I found my tribe. Conversations were booming, relationships were building, businesses were flourishing. Life was great. And so I launched my own interview show, and I got to interview such amazing people like John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Martin Lindstrom, Time Magazine 100 Most Influential People, Simon Mannering, founder of We First, Guy Kawasaki, the youngest president of the NAACP, the VP of marketing at Walt Disney. But see, all these amazing people, that was not the game changer for me. And I know you're thinking right now, wow, if I could have a show like that and all these people, I will have it made. Well, let me tell you, I did something that so few people dare to do, even to this day. I opened it up to the public and I let them come in and speak with these amazing people face to face in real time and ask them anything they wanted, live, unscripted, whatever they needed to do. So imagine you get to sit down with the vice president of marketing at Walt Disney and ask him anything you want. How will that change your life, right? And so I built a loyal audience. The engagement that I got with my audience made it so that when Gary Vaynerchuk and Guy Kawasaki were having their show at the same time that I had mine, my audience showed up for me, and I got 4 times more comments, more shares, more views than they did. even 2 years later. And we went on for 3 times longer than Gary and Guy. So if all of you are thinking that people are not into 90-minute shows, let me tell you differently. So one show on one platform that most people couldn't care less about has built my entire brand. Google hired me to fly around the world and to speak to their teams at their offices, which they hardly let a non-Googler do. I was talking about their own product. I worked with the city of Austin. I spoke on stages. I was featured on radio shows, teleseminar, all of that because I understand engagement. And today, in 2020, we are long past the days where choosing random comments on webinars or using a person's name in an email makes people feel like you actually care about them, right? I mean, you know what it's like. But on April 2nd, 2019, when Google decided to shut down Google+, I realized a devastating truth and a crucial mistake that all of you are making right now. I made that mistake too. All of you are building your home on rented properties, just like I did. You're mistakenly thinking that your friends and your followers are your friends and followers. You think, if I build a big enough group on Facebook, then I'm gonna have clients out of the wazoo. Or if I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I'm gonna have it made. Money will just flowing like it does for all those YouTube influencers. But you might wake up one day, try to log into your account and discover this. Look at this. 340,000 fans wiped out, erased. Years of work, right? How many times has it happened to you? You try to log into Facebook and you're like in Facebook jail. Or this video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated. Imagine that. This girl on Instagram actually called the police and reported murder because Instagram closed her account. And that happened to me as well. So that is your first mistake. Your first mistake is building your home on rented properties. Your second mistake is this. You're focusing on traffic and leads instead of building an audience. And even though Gary Vaynerchuk is preaching content above all else, I'm going to show you how Gary pivoted as well to engagement and turning that engagement into content. Something that you can do too, and you can use that to build your influence very, very quickly. And here's why you don't need to focus on content, right? Think about this. You and everyone you already know already have access to all the answers that you need online. Siri, Alexa, YouTube, right? YouTube University, Google Assistant, Quora, all the answers are right there, right at the palms of your hand in your cell phone. But people are still broke, they're still poor, they're still miserable, they're still sick, they're still lost, they're still depressed. Why? Why, if we have all the information out there, people are still stuck? What is it? It's because lack of information is not the problem. See, in our overly connected world, we are starving for connection. What people really need is you. So the question is, how do you scale you? It's only one you and so many other people that you can help. How can you do that? How can you build an audience, not just viewers? How do you turn your live streams into client-generating machines? And notice I said clients and not leads, right? Because there's a huge difference between clients and leads. And I think you will agree with me that you would prefer to have 10 clients than 1,000 leads, right? So how do we do this? Well, I got one word for you, and it's influence. It starts with influence, and I'm going to show you how you can use live streaming to apply all of Cialdini's principles to position you as the top dog. So who's Cialdini? Robert Cialdini is a researcher, he's an author, he's a speaker, and he's been researching what makes us say yes. And it turns out that there is a science to it. Over 60 years of science, to be precise. And he took all that science and he boiled it down to 6 principles. And here they are: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking, and consensus. Now we are going to talk about how to take all these 6 principles and how we can apply them to live video, okay? So we can position you as the top expert in your field, and you will have more influence so that more people say yes to you when you make an offer. How do you make decisions? Think about this right now. Think about the decisions that you're making. How did you make this decision? Did you base it on logic or do you base it on emotions? What is it? Now, if we were face to face, you will be telling me, but remember the community, I would love to see what you think. You think that you're basing it on logic or emotions? Now me, I think I'm a pretty logical person, and more of my decisions are based on logic. But it turns out that it is not true. All of us base our decisions based on emotions, and then we justify them with logic. That's according to science, right? Which is why all the information out there is not helping any of us to move forward and solve the issues that we really have to solve. This is why people need you, but they'll only say yes to you if you have influence over them. So let's see how Cialdini's 6 principles of influence, what they are, and then we'll see how to apply them live video so that you can gain the influence that you want and need in order to make a real impact in the world, okay? So these are the principles. First one, reciprocity. Reciprocity is the obligation to give when you receive. Second one, scarcity. People want more of the things that they have less of, right? Authority. People will follow credible, knowledgeable experts. That's why you pay attention to anyone in uniform, even if it's just a costume. You see uniform, you pay more attention to them. They are the authority. Consistency. Looking for and asking for commitments that can be made. Liking. People who are similar to us, complement us, or cooperate with us. And the last one is consensus. People look to the actions of others to determine their own. So if you want to dive a little bit more into this, just go to YouTube. Like I told you, all the information is already out there, right? Look for this video, Science of Persuasion, and in 12 minutes, you will have a summary of all of Cialdini's book, and you can know exactly how these principles, how they work. So what do you think will happen to your positioning if you took all these principles and apply them in just one live stream? Do you think you'll have more people saying yes to your offers? Do you think it will be easier for you to get what you want? So think about this for a second. Now that you're learning about influence, what is it that you want to influence people to do, right? Let's think about that. Think about what will you use the influence that I'm showing you right now, that I'm going to show you how to get influence. What would you use that for? Do you think that you will have more time to do things that you love because one live stream can increase your influence and get more people to say yes to you? So if you answered yes, let me show you how to do this. The secret to influencing more people to say yes to you is to make them active participants in your live stream. And here's what I mean. How many times have you watched a live stream and all you heard was blah, 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 blah. Maybe they were too busy promoting themselves. Or maybe you had questions, but no one answered them, right? Like you're commenting and people just ignore your comments. Maybe they just went over and over and over something, like on and on and on, and never got to the point, and you're kind of like, someone help me. Either way, however that you were participating in that, you were watching, not participating. So think about this. Watching and talking, actually being a part of a conversation, is not the same thing, right? I think we're all going to agree on that. When you're watching something, you're very passive. You're just sitting there and passive. You can daydream, you can multitask, you're not really in the conversation. But when you're talking face to face with someone, that's when you give them your undivided attention. That's when they give you their undivided attention. And that's when trust is being built. So if you want to increase your influence over your viewers, you want to move them to saying yes to you and taking action, here's the one thing that you have to do. And regardless of what tool you're using to stream, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's StreamYard, Ecamm, OBS, XSplit, Zoom, whatever you're using, just Facebook Live, doesn't matter. what you need to do is you need to bring your viewers into the live stream and speak with them face to face. And let me show you. I walk my talk. I've been doing this for over 10 years now, way before live streaming or Zoom was cool. And if you recall, this is how I build my brand, right? And so I invite you to come in and chat with me and my guest. I still do that every other Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on amthatgeek.com. And because of the situation that we're in, everybody is at home right now. I also go live every day at 2 Eastern, same thing. So 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Pacific. You can jump in and talk to me live face to face, and you can experience everything that I'm telling you about, right? And so let me show you how this positions me very, very quickly as an influencer in the good way of the thing, right? Not the influencers that we know from Instagram, right? It increases my influence so that I turn my viewers into customers. So this was day 2 of streaming. Like, we decided to start streaming every day at 2 p.m. Day 2 of streaming, this wonderful woman jumps on. She found me on LinkedIn. She came in, she asked me a question live. I followed up with a call. I said, hey, do you have any more questions that I did not get to answer on the live stream because, you know, time is limited? She said yes, and she became a client. So I want you to pay attention to 2 things here. One is why you want to go live everywhere. Super important, because you don't know where your audience is. You don't know where your clients are hanging out. So you don't know where you might find them. So if you go live everywhere, not just Facebook, but you're live on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, you have a wider reach, and you will meet people wherever they might be at the time that you're going live. And another thing to pay attention, she came to my website, and because she came to my website and I have a tracking on my website, I was able to follow up. I was able to text her, and I was able to build those relationships with her. If you are on Facebook or anywhere on social media, YouTube, Twitter, you don't know who's watching you and you have no way to follow up with them. You have to bring them into your website for you to be able to build that relationship, have them opt in, track them, retarget them, all that jazz that can happen on a website. So this is not where I'm teaching you how to do that, but keep that in mind. If you have a question, remember the community, jump on in the community, and we can help you with that chat, right? So today I'm talking about how to gain influence, and I'm showing you that simply by going live everywhere, opening it up to questions, having people come in like this amazing lady, Birgit. She came in, she asked me a question, she gained trust, and she agreed to a follow-up call. We had another conversation, a little presentation, and in a very short time, like in 3 days, she became a client. We never knew each other before, completely cold traffic. Basically, all I did was apply the 6 principles of influence that I'm showing you right now to this conversation. Let me show you. So reciprocity, the obligation to give when you receive. I consulted her, right? I gave her free advice, free help on my live show when she came in, and I solved her unique challenge. Now, she had more challenges, and that's what we talked about in the phone call, but she came in and she got a solution, she got a win right there and there, and that built the trust between us. Scarcity, people want more of those things that are less of. It's a limited amount of time and access to me, right? Those shows are not going on forever and ever. You can't pick my brain forever. You probably get about 5 minutes with me, which is enough to start building the relationship and enough for a follow-up call. Authority, people will follow credible, knowledgeable experts. Well, it's my show, right? I'm the one there. I'm the one solving the problem. This is my stream. And everyone else on that stream kind of like edifies the fact that I am the authority. They come to my show, they come to my website, it's my home. And so I'm the authority. I'm the one managing the whole thing. Consistency, looking for and asking for commitment that can be made. So I follow through. I called her, I asked if everything is okay, and I'm always consistent. Every day at 2 p.m. Eastern, you can find me right on my website. Liking people who are similar to us, compliment us, and cooperate with us. So we relate to each other face to face on video. We see each other's personal cues. It's informal settings. There are jokes going on. It's not kind of like an interview setting or a company or corporate. It's very much like sitting in the living room, having conversations. And have that picture in your head when you're thinking about doing your own live shows. Be approachable, be friendly, be that trusted advisor. Consensus. People look to the actions of others to determine their own. The dynamic of the group that's edifying me as the host, as the authority. Birgit was not the only one who joined me that day. There were other people. And all of them are looking up to me to manage the show, direct the show, answer the question, interact with everyone there. So she can see everyone the way that they're interacting with me. And that makes her feel as well that, I'm the authority, this is my house, I know what I'm doing, and the way that I'm interacting with her builds that trust right away. So in one show, I took all these 6 principles, applied them in a very informal, casual way, and I used it to connect with people wherever they are online, bring them in, have conversations with them face to face, connect, build that trust, and take it a step further. If I can help, they become clients. If I cannot, I refer them to other people. So I just showed you an easy way to make people know, like, and trust you in minutes instead of in weeks or months or tons of emails, right? And I just showed you how to position yourself so that people say yes to you by applying Cialdini's 6 principles of influence. So this is not something that just happened with Birgit. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I keep getting those emails and messages in LinkedIn, in Twitter, in Facebook, like this one. Can I get on a call with you? I'm interested in your approach to engagement. Are you looking for new clients? And this happens to my clients as well when we're running that same system with them. This one is 7 days ago. I've never heard of John or his product. Now, just in a week, I bought the accelerators. That's a $2,500 product. First direct sell from the show. This one is an $8,000 product in just first show, and sales are coming in. And this happens to people who only go on Facebook by themselves, like, just going live on Facebook, adding value, engaging with people, getting $1,000 per stream, and now $6,500 per screen. So see, the secret to accelerating trust and influence hides in the power of real-time engagement, which means just you going live and talking at people is not going to get you the same type of relationship, the same type of trust, the same type of conversion if you were to engage with them face-to-face in real time. And finally, now, because of the situation of COVID-19, people are now understanding this concept on an experiential level, on a visceral level. So now let me give you 2 examples of how the pros are using this model, not just to engage and build their brand, but also create their content, okay? I'm gonna have to share my screen for this, but we'll do that. So Gary Vaynerchuk, let's look at Gary Vaynerchuk's Instagram. So you can do exactly the same thing. You can hop on Gary Vaynerchuk Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, choose your poison, right? Whatever it is. But you'll notice that up until, when was that? March, the beginning of March, right? When COVID hit and everybody had to stay at home. Up until then, all of Gary Vaynerchuk's social profiles is him. It's about him and the people like in his office that he's meeting, and his TV appearances and all the meeting that he has, in his offices or in keynote speeches or out and about, right? He was creating content just about himself and the conversation that he's having either with the team or with people in live events. But now that he's sitting at home and he cannot leave, what he started to do is tea with Gary V. So now he goes live every day, and let me show you that on Facebook. So now what Gary does, he jumps on Facebook and he just brings in other people and talk to them live. He stays on for like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and all he does is take questions from other people in real time. They come in from their house, phones, wherever, and asking him questions, and he's giving them advice, right? So what is he doing? Exactly what I told you to do. He's engaging with people face to face in real time, applying all the 6 principles of Cialdini's, right? Face to face, he's the authority, that's his show, liking, consensus, all that jazz. All these comments are edifying him, right? This stuff. And then he takes this content, right? All these conversations, he turns that into all the content that he needs. Look at that. All the conversations with people. They are basically coming in and telling him what issues they're having, and that is the content that he does. So no more, look at me at the stage. Remember this guy? We just saw him a second ago, right? So he's turning those conversations into content. Remember this girl? Taking all the conversation, Q&A, and turning them into the content that he has. So he's using live streaming, just like I showed you, to connect with people on an emotional level, right? You only get 5 minutes with him. That's all you need to turn to him and look at him as the influencer, as the authority, as the trusted advisor, right there and then, right? And then he takes that content and turns that into the content, all the other social assets that he needs. So thanks to Corona for leaving everybody at home. So now we have more time for each other and we're more connecting than ever. This is your opportunity to not just broadcast and talk at people, but instead bring them into your world, engage with them face to face so that you can build your authority, you can build your brand, and you can build your content, because you don't have to guess what your audience is struggling with. They come in, they tell you, you solve your problem, and done, right? Let me show you another example of Roland Frasier and how he used this exact model that I'm sharing with you to actually increase his sales simply by selling access to him. Not information, no courses, he didn't have to build anything. All he had to do is give people a taste of what it's like to pick his brain in real time, and then say, hey, do you want to continue picking my brain in real time? This is how you do it. Now you'll notice that again, before the corona, before COVID-19 hit the world, Roland was only talking about everything that he is doing. He was featuring himself, his experiences, all the stuff that what he is going through, right? But the minute COVID hit, he goes like, how can I help people and what can I do? And he started going on Zoom calls. In this Zoom call, you see me right there, he brought Jay Abraham to the mix. And so people coming in and basically asking Jay Abraham and Roland Frasier questions about their businesses. How will I solve this issue that I have with my business right now during this time, right? And so at the end of it, people were getting access to Roland, who's a fantastic strategist, and Jay, who's brilliant. They're getting answers right here. We keep jumping to Jay, and here's Roland, getting advice from them. And here at the end, Roland says, hey, do you want more access to me? Then just say, I'm in the Zoom call, and they will come in, and basically you can join mastermind with Jay and Roland. That will be $1,000 a month. So first month it was for free for them to experience it, and then it'll be just paying for access, paying for time with these guys. So here's another example of not even having to run a webinar. This is the beauty of it. There's no webinar, there's no slide, there's nothing. People came in, asked their question, got the answer that they needed, and then said, I'm in, I want more access to you because you are amazing, fantastic, and very helpful. So I just showed you how using this exact system turns into clients not only for influential people already been influential before this whole live streaming wave took over our world, right? I also showed you how I was able to get a really high paying client from cold traffic, completely cold. We never knew each other, simply by having conversation face to face with people. So right now, your action steps are this. Pick your weapon. It doesn't matter if it's StreamYard, Ecamm, OBS, XSplit, just Zoom, whatever it is. Pick whatever tool that you want to use for going live and engage with your audience. Don't speak at them, speak with them, right? Make an impact, save the world, because there are so many people, like I just said, that are starving for connection. And if you are the person that can connect with them and save their lives and make a real impact that will, ripple through their life and everybody else they touch, and our world will be so much better. So hopefully that was helpful. And now you know exactly what you do and you are ready to go there and do it, right? But if you need some help, here's what I have for you. I am creating a hands-on workshop to help you use StreamYard to build a solid brand. And why StreamYard? Because I found that this is the easiest way. You don't need super complicated computers like I have here. You don't need tons of settings. You don't need hardly any tech. It's in your browser. You don't even need to download anything. Super, super easy to get started with live streaming. It allows you to bring people in. The video quality is really, really high. So it's really no-brainer. I even have some coupons for you. So you can, if you wanted to upgrade, you can save some money on that. So if you want help and if you want hands-on workshop together, so we can do it hand by hand, right? Side by side. If that's what you want, this is what I got for you. Okay, here it is. Which is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get hands-on training, so it will be there together and we'll set up your profile together. You'll know exactly what colors, what to say, how to do it. Super easy. It's not gonna be years or months or anything like that. You're gonna be set up in a few hours, ready to go. Now, like I said to you before, information is not the problem, right? You can go online right now. You can go to YouTube. You can go to StreamYard, figure out it all on your own. There's other things that we need that actually make sure that we are taking action. One of them is, what do I go live? What do I say? How do I start? So I'm gonna give you 30 topics that you can use right there and there, right now, right? And you have a full month of content that is strategically used to position you as the authority and gain you influence. So you're gonna get all the topics that you need to talk about your business in a favorable way, in a form, not in a pushy way, not in a salesy way, so that you can start building your viewers, your audience, your clients, your buyers. And lastly, not another Facebook group, please. No, you are going to get, again, in Telegram, a community that will support your entire journey. Because it's really, really hard to get started with live streaming and you don't have an audience yet and you kind of feel like you're talking to the void, right? So I want to eliminate that. I want to give you an audience that you can support and they can support you. Every time you go live, you'll get some viewers, you'll get some comments that will raise your visibility and you will help other people do the same. And that way you won't feel like you're the only one out there messing up or not messing up or succeeding or not succeeding, right? You'll have a group of peers to do this with. So if you're interested in that, then I want to give you $400 off today. All you have to do is scan this barcode right here, right here. Scan the barcode the same way that you scanned it at the beginning of the presentation. Hop on in and use the coupon code LEAP. Just use LEAP. Automatically, you're gonna have $400 off and you can hop on in and get all these goodies for 97 bucks. Super cheap, super easy, super cool. And if you don't want to, if you can't scan it, the URL is viralconnectivity.com/StreamYard one-on-one. So I will see you either in the community or in our workshop. And if this was helpful, I would love for you to come on to any of my social accounts. Say something. Say that you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback. Let me know how it went. Or you can come into the community and again, let me know how it went. Either way, I hope you use live streaming to connect with people, find your tribe, support your tribe, be a part of something that is amazing because the world really, really needs that connection and engagement right now. My name is Yifat Cohen. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you in any of those outlets.